Thanks, Coach. A bit of a sloppy track here at Soldier Field. Still getting some of the wraparound rain bands of a low-pressure system that's hovered over Chicago the last couple of days. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This is taken at the 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run good for 2. Here's second and 8.
Check 99. 3.
Mariota. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A good pickup, 17 yards and a Bear first down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Pretty solid run here on first down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Throwing is Mariota, and that is incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down.
Where's 52?
Throwing, Mariota. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 33. Well, nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Back-to-back plays of right around 30 yards, and the field position has totally been flipped. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. To throw Mariota. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
But when you're going up against a talented receiver like that, you just know that they're going to bring more people to him, right? They're going to double cover him every chance they get.
I think that is what we're going to see all game long, an early taste of that double, maybe even sometimes triple coverage we might see.
Yeah, I think what they're counting on, his talent to sometimes beat that double coverage.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bears take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Here we go.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. On play action, it's Garoppolo. They've got his man complete. That one goes for 24 yards.
Defense gives up a touchdown the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start.
Here we go.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Get the ball. He's coming. We got double up.
On play action, now Garoppolo. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
12, fellas. Here we go.
Garoppolo. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 21.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where he, their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
2nd and 6 at the 17-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now Garoppolo letting one go deep. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Now the 2nd down throw on target. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A Chicago 1st down there on a gain of 11.
36-yard line.
Pick it up, defense. Let's go.
A first down throw for Mariota. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Tre'Davious White, the LSU man, there to knock it away that time.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get off the field.
Again, it's Mariota. And he completes it to Cohen. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 16 yards is the pickup there and a first down for Chicago. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman, and he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
Well, now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Mariota to throw it. On the screen, this is Coleman. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard to go for the first.
Come on, let's go.
On play action, Mariota. They'll roll him out right. His pass caught at the 4. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A 12-yard touchdown grab as the Bears push further out in front. A try here for the extra point. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good.
14, Vikings nothing.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Their own 25-yard line.
Here we go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Looking to throw. Garoppolo. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Blowing that play up, Roquan Smith as he gets the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
I got this. 13.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it, and he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game. and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
A run there on first down and a pretty good one at 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
From the 27, Mariota. Caught. It's Wilson. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks, but it doesn't matter what you call the position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion.
Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. One. 5-2.
From the 17, Mariota firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And he completes it to Wilson. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And no signal yet. I don't think he got in. He didn't. They'll mark him at the 1. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
At the 1-yard line.
Back in Chicago, ready for the 2nd quarter. It's the Bears in possession as they come up now 2nd and goal. Back in Chicago, ready for the 2nd quarter. It's the Bears in possession as they come up now 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season, as the Bears push further out in front. Point after, right down the middle, and that makes the score 21-0.
Vikings, nothing.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
Here we go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
On the carry, it's Cook. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Here we go.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10.
One, Omaha.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
65.
Throwing now is Garoppolo. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. To throw is Garoppolo. Setting up the screen for Cook. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He'll give up 6 yards there on the loss, and it'll bring up 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter. Tariq Cohen is deep for the Bears. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. From the gun, Mariota. And that's complete to Cooks. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 27 yards there, a 1st down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now a shotgun handoff to Cohen. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a 1st down.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Ready, blue line. 52 right here. 52. Big stop, D. Big stop. Let's go.
From the red zone now, Mariota. And the grab by Croft. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A great effort there. On his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns as the Bears push further out in front. Extra point right down the middle, and a rout is on here in this first half.
Vikings, nothing.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
Here we go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10.
58 to Mike.
To throw, it's Garoppolo. Open man is Robbie Anderson. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Here we go.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
21.
58, right over there. Yeah. Mike, 50.
Hey, Charlie.
Here we go, team.
Get hot.
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Get it.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Come on, set. 60 or.
Single the slot. Get it.
Let go.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. And a give this time to the tailback. And a good run as he manages 7 yards down to the 17. And he's going to be stopped just short of the first down marker at the Vikings 17.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
8, read.
Gotta do better. Come on, QB, come on.
Buzz. Snap.
On 3rd and 2, Samuel. And that will be incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Here we go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And it hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4.
Garoppolo looks to throw. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards.
First down, Vikings.
On first down, Garoppolo steps away to his left. He's going to take off with it. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a first.
Here we go.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
58, boys, 58. 58's Mike. Hey, check.
There's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. That's into the hands of Edwards. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Showing it. At 58 is the fight.
Looking to throw. Garoppolo. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down.
58 to Mike. You're not ready.
21. Here we go.
On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Well, the crowd doesn't like that. Was going to bring up 4th. Now it's 1st.
They don't like it at all, do they? It brings them back into it, but really not in a positive way. Now they're angry. That can jangle a team a little bit as well. Pass interference ruined that series of downs for them.
Forced out to his left. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back. In pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
58's to Mike. 58's to Mike. You remember me?
2nd down and goal. Garoppolo flushed out right. Toward the pylon, caught. And he is out of bounds here. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. On the sneak is Garoppolo. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Jimmy Garoppolo with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the 1st half. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio, and that will get them one closer.
Bears 31, Vikings 7. Giorgio
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Tavecchio. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Let's go!
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You've got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
2nd and 2. That escapes the sack. Steps away. Being chased out left. Now he'll pull it down. So we come upon halftime here at Soldier Field with the Bears out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. Now a pass dumped off to his running back. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Here we go.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
11.
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Now Garoppolo lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now the throw pulled in by Anderson. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch,
Here we go.
but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Garoppolo now. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
The Vikings send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And look at this, it's a fake. And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool this defense. And the Bears will get the football back. The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10 at their own 46. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down.
30 base. Mike 58, right there. I got one.
Go.
58, come on.
5.
Throwing again. Samuel. And he's got his man on the out route. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he will have the 1st down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back.
Ready, ready.
58 for Mike. You can't block me. You can't block me.
Hey, orbit.
You can't block me. At 58 is the Mike. Going 58 is the Mike.
On first down, Samuel. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Daniil Hunter, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
Let's go.
Throwing on third and long. Samuel. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's fourth down. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
Here we go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Garoppolo to try again on second down. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a fourth pick. And it's third down.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Has several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. There's Garoppolo to throw. And that's caught by Smith. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Garoppolo now. 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now a play fake. Garoppolo. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
Ready.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Right back to Coleman here on first down. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. That kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. The catch and run there, good for 16 in the first. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good plays, and they actually fast forward through those. All right, that was good. All right, great. They get to the bad ones and really illuminate them. Not cool.
They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
Ready up.
Right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there. Watch the pass. Watch the pass.
Bravo.
58, come on.
On 3rd and 2, Samuel. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
X3, 218, chopper. Ready.
Looking to throw. Samuel, and he fires one incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Check 4. Check 37. Check 37. Check.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. On 3rd down, Samuel. And that is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. And this one is right through. And that'll push the lead from 24 up to 27. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Let's go, baby.
At their own 18-yard line.
Here we go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there halftime, actually.
You think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a first down. Now a play fake here on first down.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that?
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time.
Here we go.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Out of the gun, they give to Freeman. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
21.
Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. Now Garoppolo. He's got Freeman here. It's complete. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the first.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boy.
The Vikings send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the second time. Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. I think they're just a product of trying to buy themselves 5 extra yards.
And they want to help their punter out, right? Help with the angle, trying to pin the ball deep. That's exactly what they did there.
Still just the third quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on fourth.
54. White. 54 Mike. 3 bucks. 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D.
They'll go for it. It's Garoppolo. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Frank Clark. And that will force a turnover on downs. Well, they were looking for a clutch play there on fourth, unable to come up with it.
How about that defense, though, huh? How about that D?
Yeah, momentum swing.
And, you know, I remember playing how much fourth downs were emphasized. You know, because, as you said, it's a momentum play. It's also a big test for you. You know, if people are going to go for it on fourth down, they believe you're not up to the challenge. You want to show them differently.
And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys, let's go. Come on, capitalize on this one.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Robbie Anderson, the man he was looking for. And that'll bring up second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10.
Two.
Throwing now is Garoppolo. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Edwards. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings.
And the Vikings first down.
Here we go. Black 80.
It's been a long day for you.
11.
Twist. Alert 3.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Be afraid of me.
Black.
Hey, 58 is a mic.
Hey, Alpha.
Don't let him breathe.
Garoppolo now, first down throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game film from the prior game when they got clobbered. That was his way of putting it behind him.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 39.
Here we go, here we go.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Garoppolo looks to throw once more. Open man is Robbie Anderson. And he gets it down to the 32. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 17-yard line.
A gain of 15. First down, Vikings.
Here we go. Wait, 80! 21, 21.
They're running it. 58, right over there, right over there. Yeah, yeah. Mike, 58, right there.
Inside the red zone, it's Garoppolo. And now here is another interception. Let it well, and it's picked. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
They're not ready for this, man. One. For this, they still playing soccer.
Following the interception here, Mariota. And this is incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. But it'll be second down. They're still throwing the football here. And obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. The Bears on third down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Working out of the gun, Mariota. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
Here we go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
The Vikings on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 9. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Open man is Anderson. 17 yards, first down, Vikings.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Hey, alert! Alert!
From the gun, it's a run for Freeman. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time. To throw, it's Garoppolo. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Garoppolo to throw for it on 4th. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. On 1st down, Garoppolo. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Below Nichols in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long?
Check nickel, nickel, nickel.
From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Frank Clark in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Garoppolo going to go on 4th down. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And this is going to be incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Bears will get the football back. So a tough pill to swallow there. A would-be touchdown pass in and out of his hands on 4th.
Sometimes it just comes down to execution, doesn't it? Because we're always questioning, should they go for it, should they not? Is it the right play call, is it not? In this situation, everything was right except for the finish. You have to catch the ball and convert.
They begin the drive with Coleman. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Check 52.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now. The Bears on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 16.
3. And 58 is the mic. Go 58 is the mic. I got you, boy. I got you.
From the shotgun, it's Mariota. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty. And it's 4th down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Here comes the Bears punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a fourth down try. But they had to like the field.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Royce Freeman with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. Tavecchio to add the PAT. And the lead is down to 20.
Next to score, Bears 34, Vikings 14. Giorgio Tavecchio set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Tavecchio. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Bears take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. Give the tackle there to Daniil Hunter. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Operating from the gun, Samuel, and the grab by Croft. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. So a holding penalty, and that'll send him backwards.
You know they're trying not to do that. I mean, we know that, right? We talk to them all the time. But sometimes the defensive guys just put you in awkward situations, and you get caught grabbing their jerseys.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. From the gun, Samuel. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. 3rd and long here for Mariota. He's going to air one out. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 21.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. Garoppolo to try again on 2nd down. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
12.
I'm coming up to you.
Throwing is Garoppolo on third down. And a throw there going to be incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Here we go.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays
21,
out.
21. Here we go.
Now Garoppolo, gotta have this one. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A little antsy on the left side of the line.
Yeah, I think they got the guy in the end. I think they got the DN there on that one. And let's face it, he is so amped up, wanting to get a good get off on the snap, jump too quickly.
Now a handoff looking right. He's got the first down inside the 10. And finally taken down at the 4-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Watch out, watch out.
Mariota here to throw to the goal line, but it's incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. Second and goal.
One. Press them. Switch. Watch twist.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
So now then, the penalty's got him set up with a first and goal.
One. Under 10.
Mariota under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Well, if you're going to throw the ball on first and goal from the 2, the worst thing that should result is an incompletion for you offensively. But, Brandon, this is a different type of football. Back in my day, first and goal from the 2, a lot of big people with big neck rolls, they were on the field trying to ram it into the end zone.
Now from the 9, here's second and goal. Now Mariota. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. Back-to-back great plays defensively. You get the sack on first and goal. A great job in coverage there. All of a sudden, they're looking at third and goal from further back than when they started.
And the really good play callers look ahead and down and distance sequence. Now he's got to backtrack a little bit and go maybe off his play sheet to try and dial something up here.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's fourth down.
A 2-yard gain. It's now 4th and goal.
Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Or are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the Bears, it's an important win in terms of staying in the postseason race as they move to 6-4. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, it was a game they really needed as they drop back to 4-6. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.